Talmud tells us, whoever teaches his son or daughter not only teaches that son or daughter, but also teaches their sons and daughters. You, Lenore, have already taught generations and will continue to do so for all eternity. Not only has Lenore educated generations, she has influenced an entire generation of those who also teach. There are few in this room who have not learned from our Woman of Valor. Everyone who has ever worked with Lenore or studied with her knows that she has an uncanny ability to share her wealth of knowledge without ever making students feel inferior. She has dedicated her life to spreading Judaism to all, just as she introduced all of its joys to me when I was a young teen attending Shabbat services and Israeli dancing at Oneg's with my Rebbetzin. That's the way she is. One person can make a difference. She has dedicated her entire life to making Judaism relatable, understandable, and simply fun. She has made it come alive for those most knowledgeable, as well as for those new. Lenore, I can't tell you how proud I am to stand here today representing your family. Barely a day goes by that I am not reminded of all that you have taught me. Your daughter Merle sends her love and good wishes, and here's a little bit of what she wrote. Lenore Kipper, my mother, has always been there for our family. Equally important, she has been there for all of you. My mom has dedicated her life to Judaism. She is devoted to keeping Judaism alive. My mom and dad have touched the thousands of young adults with the High School in Israel program, thus setting the groundwork for all future generations. If you have ever been the recipient of any teachings from my mother, you know what it has stirred inside of you. She has helped so many discover their love of Judaism. Well, I personally couldn't agree more. Lenore had a vision and has never faltered from that vision. She has been a devoted wife and partner, an adored mother, a very proud grandmother, a caring sister, an exemplary educator, a cherished colleague, a sincere, honest, but a very gentle mentor, and a treasured friend. Lenore has always been a teacher's teacher. She has mothered and mentored, shown great strength, and gently moved mountains when necessary. Go into the world and do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. Lenore, you have done well, and you are still doing good. I'd like to introduce and honored to introduce my friend, one of your Women of Valor, Lenore Kipper. I have 5 minutes to tell you my life story. Thank you, Jackie. Our special friendship and relationship, as you said, goes back to your high school days. Sharing this day with Lynn, Laura, and Lily recalls many memories of our experiences together. By now, everyone has noticed that all of our names begin with L, and the invitation says, honoring our leaders.
We represent different aspects of leadership at Beth Am and in the Miami community. Who is a leader? My husband, Rabbi Lenore Kipper, once wrote, "A true leader is one who touches and inspires the minds and hearts of others." I hope I have fulfilled this description over the years. Our choices and decisions in life are influenced by significant moments and significant people who determine the path and direction we follow. My personal Jewish journey began in high school. I belonged to a citywide Jewish youth group. It was November 29, 1947. We were at a camp weekend retreat, listening to the roll call at the UN, waiting for the vote to partition Palestine and establish a Jewish nation. This was a transformative moment for me. It was also when Lenore Kipper and I became friends. Maury made me a farbrenta for the Jewish people, even though I didn't know what that word meant since I came from a Sephardic home. What is a farbrenta? It's a Yiddish word that I believe represents a person who is passionate for a specific purpose. Although I thought I was going to be a public school teacher, my marriage to Maury changed my direction. He was my husband, my friend, my partner, my mentor, and the most significant person in my life. He is here today because I am here today. The South Dade community is my community. We lived here since 1964, when Maury became the rabbi at Temple Judea, except for the time we lived in Israel to establish the high school in Israel. My personal journey at Beth Am has been a time of learning and teaching, of mentoring and nurturing, and of helping Jewish families start their Jewish journeys. I am grateful to all the rabbis and leaders who gave me this opportunity to grow professionally and to be challenged and creative. Every year I was energized and excited to be working with the enthusiastic team of teachers. I cherish those friendships that began here. I always viewed my role at Beth Am as an integral part of the whole, working with the day school, the religious school, adult education, and the adult B'nai Mitzvah program. For 38 years, I have been connected to this congregation. I was blessed to be able to combine my love of learning and teaching with my love of Judaism and the Jewish people. You have truly enriched my life. If I have brought you and your families closer to God, Torah, and Israel, then I have fulfilled my lifelong mission and purpose. My list is too long to name all the significant people who guided me, but I must name Rabbi Baumgard and Seal Kunin, who were responsible for bringing me to Beth Am. This honor today is not for me alone. It's for all the people in my life who inspired me, and for the people in this room. Your constant support for Maury and me during times of rejoicing and times of difficulty made you our Miami family. I have an art print in my home that is based on biblical text. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose. I look at it every day. It reminds me to reflect about the roller coaster of life experiences that are part of my story. We have shared many seasons together. There's been a time for learning, a time for teaching, a time for reflection, and a time for renewal of purpose. And I am still a farbrenta for Judaism and the Jewish people. Thank you for being here to honor me and support the temple. From heart to heart, all my love and appreciation. Toda Rabah.
You know, Lenore gave a little bit of a summary of her life story, but there's a secret that I know that many of you may not know. I was in the last adult B'nai Mitzvah class that Lenore instructed, and somehow we secretly found out that she had never become a bat mitzvah. So we forced her, and she's so modest, we forced her to go through the process with us. So it's one of my fondest, most beautiful memories of Temple Beth Am, becoming a bat mitzvah, having Lenore as a teacher, and having her as part of our class.